Okay, this afternoon we got a guest this morning, Lisa. Uh, she's a lifetime prisoner. She did 20,
23 years.
23 years, was paroled after 23 years. Today we want to talk about you and your incarceration. What did you go to prison for?
Um, I participated in a drive-by shooting. I actually was the driver, and a young woman was fatally shot.
Okay, okay. And you was sent from what county?
Sacramento County.
Sacramento County. Where did you start your time?
I did all my time in Chowchilla, Central California Women's Facility.
Okay. So going into prison, what was that like?
It was like going into a world that I had any knowledge of. So adjusting was pretty hard. Going in and seeing people that just recently got life sentences as well. It was pretty overwhelming, and adapting to that kind of environment wasn't the easiest thing for me to do. Although I adapted well, I knew I had to because I was a life prisoner, and this is where I was going to be residing for the next 10, 15, 20 years. So I tried to make the best of a bad situation.
Right, right. You, I guess that must be kind of hard on your family. You going to prison and trying to have another life in prison, knowing that you had a life sentence.
Well, yeah, it was very hard, especially on my mother, who always been a single parent, raising me and my sister. And I had a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old whom she had to take into her house, and she raised them as I did my time in Chowchilla.
I mean, it must have been kind of hard on you having children going to prison.
Yeah, and listening to the stories of my daughter waking up, she was a 2-year-old, waking up in the middle of the night having nightmares, asking for her mommy. And my son, he was old enough to know, 4 years old. I mean, he knew a lot for a 4-year-old, and he understood that, mommy had done something wrong, and I had to go and do my time for it. They were actually there when homicide detectives came to pick me up.
Is that right?
Yes.
That must have been kind of traumatic for you.
Yes, I always think that from now being out and seeing my children, I believe that they should have had counseling that they didn't get.
Right, right. You going into prison. You what at what stage did you wake up, so to speak, to start changing your life?
It took me about 2 to 3 years after I did my adjustments. I even had one physical altercation when I first got there, and it was part of me being angry for being there, and just being there, period, and separating myself from my family and knowing that someone had lost their life over some stupidity. It took me a long time to I didn't adapt as fast as I wanted to, and I can't say that I ever got comfortable in prison, but I got content where I know this is my community now, and this is where I have to live, and I'm going to have to be friends with people that I probably don't even want to be friends with, and make the best out of this situation. Because if in that environment, if you're negative, you're not going to get anything.
Right.
But if you can cope with a positive attitude on a day-to-day basis, I think a random act of kindness takes you a long way.
Sure it does. Did you ever lose hope of getting out of prison?
Yes, I did.
You did.
I went to board in 2005. I was found suitable in September of 2005. However, Arnold Schwarzenegger reversed that decision. I went back to board in 2006. At that time, I did a postponement for 1 year because there was somebody on the panel that I just didn't agree with. So they gave me the 1 year. Went back in 2007, got a split decision. One commissioner said yeah, the other commissioner said no. So I had to go to an in-bank hearing, which they later on denied me 1 year. Did a writ on that, got sent out to court, back to Sacramento County Jail. I won the writ. It was granted, but nothing really happened because the judge ordered for me to go back to board and for them to be mindful that they can't use my crime against me. And that's what it was basically on. Arnold Schwarzenegger kept saying I didn't have insight. So I go back to board, and this was in 2008. They found me suitable again. Well, I get the suitability. Arnold Schwarzenegger, again, does a reversal on me. So I go back to board.
So you mean you had your date taken from you twice?
Yes. Well, actually 3 times because of the split decision. That ended up being a denial, so I had to go back. And then when I went in 2008, I got a grant again, and he ended up taking that away. But however, they got me back in. I went back to board in 2012. I went back to board February 12th, 2013. I went back to board and they found me suitable again. And the feeling that I had when I walked out the boardroom that time, I knew that that was the one that I was going to walk on.
Right.
I felt it in my soul.
Right. We go in front of that board of prison terms, and they give us hope, then they take it from us, and that's why I asked you, did you ever give up on getting out of prison? Because like I said, we go in front of the board of prison, we give them everything that they ask for and some, and we go in front of them and we give them the support letters and we give them everything that they want, and then they give us a date. And then they take it from us.
And then my turning point, when I felt like I wanted to give up, after those suitabilities, I went back in 2009 and got a 3-year denial. And that's when I had that setback.
Right.
And I buckled down in my room on my knees and I cried. And I was like, Lord, what is it that you want from me? I've done everything that I can in this prison. I run the groups now.
Right.
That I have done them so much that I am now a facilitator for these groups. Right. And I just broke down and was like, what is it that I have to do? What is it? And as I was sitting there and I was thinking, I said, I know it's something that I need, but I haven't, quite figured it out. Or maybe it's something, my higher power is saving me from on the outside. And I don't know about it, and I'll probably never know about it. But I got that peace of mind. For those 3 years that I had to do, I had my peace of mind, and I continued doing the programs that I had been doing. I continued facilitating groups. I just didn't give up, even though I wanted to. But I knew that if I stopped walking and stopped putting one foot in front of the other, that I was going to be doomed. And I got myself ready. My attorney came to see me, and he looked me in my face. I had Attorney Keith Watley from the Bay Area, and he looked me in my face, and he said, I don't take nobody in the boardroom to get denied. And I was like, okay.
I had the same attorney representing me.
He did.
Yeah.
So he's down to earth. And he asked me, what's your insight? I gave him a little rundown of what my insight was, and he just leaned back. If Keith, he leans back in his seat. Yeah. And he was like, all right. Yeah. He said, I'm going to take you in. He said, you got insight. And I was like, okay. Yeah. So he came and took me to the board. He sits over here and he's leaning back in his chair like, you better talk. That's right. And I was blessed that day to have Arthur Anderson and Commissioner Johnson, Deputy Commissioner Johnson. And the deputies came out while I was in the hallway waiting, and they was like, hey, you getting out. You're going to get a grant today. Right. And I said, why do you think I'm going to get a grant today? And he was a Mexican guy. He go, because you got a brother. That's right. I said, that is not the reason I'm going to get out today. I'm going to get out today because I have the insight that I need to go in there and let him know that I'm not that same person from 1991 that committed this crime. I'm a whole new person now. And then he was like, okay, all right. So I went in there and I talked.
Let me ask you, the programs that you did while you was incarcerated, what kind of programs did you do while you was incarcerated?
I did substance abuse classes. I did NA and AA, and board told me, why do you go to these groups, because you don't have any alcohol or drug history in your file? And I said, I go for me. It's not about the chrono that I get. I go for me because I'd rather be in a meeting than sitting in a day room watching somebody get beat up or something like that, So I move myself from the negativity, and I take myself somewhere where it's going to be positive. And then I got into like a visa class. It was a victim impact self-awareness class. And that's when I think the light just like really turned on in there. Because when you go to the board, they always want you to be held accountable for what you're there for. And if you go in there talking about you made a mistake or it was an accident and I didn't mean to do it, or I didn't know, you're not being held accountable. You're not holding yourself accountable for what your actions were, So at that point, I knew that I needed to step up to the plate. And although I know I didn't pull a trigger, I knew I had to be held responsible because I drove that car. And had I never drove it to that location or followed this girl, this wouldn't have happened, not on my account anyway. Right. So I played my role, and I had to stand up as a woman and be accountable for what I did.
You do you think that the uh, people in society they kind of like throw us away? You know, I mean, for a person to take somebody's life, a person could commit a heinous crime. You know, I say that we went temporarily insane for that period, right? But when you get on the other side of the wall, we get the awakening call. You know, we know that our life is taken from us, and we have to do something to get back. We have to do. You know, I did a bunch of time in prison, and I not once gave up because I knew one day I was going to get the release. I don't know when it was, but I know one day I was going to get the release because they gave me life with the possibility, not life without.
Right.
You know, so that plays a big part in a person getting out or putting work in to get out. You know, so your light came on at an early stage in your incarceration.
Yeah, within I'd say 3 to 5 years,
Okay, okay.
and my walk to never stop.
Never stop, right?
Never stop.
So what we have to do, we have to change our whole being to what we want to be to get out of prison and to continue the life after we get out of prison.
Actually,
So we have to walk the walk and talk the talk.
right.
We can't just do one. We got to do both of them.
And stay disciplinary free.
That's right. Exactly. So in prison, did you ever get into any physical altercations?
Yes, too.
Okay.
I went to ASEG for one, which was early on, maybe in my first year. I think it was like my first year in prison. I went to ASEG for 8 days, and the reason why I had to stay 8 days versus 2 or 3 days is because I made the captain very angry with me, and she didn't want to release me because she felt like I was one of her better lifers on her yard. So for my discipline, she was going to leave me back there, and I got found guilty on that 115, and they took 90 days, no yard privileges or anything like that. And then I got another 115. I was in the laundry room, and this girl said something to me, and I threw her up real quick. I handled my business real quick, and then I stepped back. And then the police came and was like, what happened? And they handcuffed us. And she was like, she didn't do anything. She didn't do anything because they was trying to get me for a battery. But she told them that I never hit her, and she didn't have no marks on her or nothing. So I didn't get a 115 for that. But she knew not to mess with me when I'm in the laundry room again. And it's funny now, but at that time I was like, oh my God, what is wrong with me? I had to do something about my anger, and I started going to anger management classes.
So you went to anger
Yes, I did a lot of
classes?
anger management classes to the point I became a facilitator
Okay, good.
because I was in denial about being angry.
Was that alternative to violence, AVP?
I did an alternative to violence as well.
By Gordon Graham?
Oh yes,
Okay.
I did that alternative to violence.
Okay.
This last group I did, I didn't even get to graduate from it because I paroled. It's called VOEG. It's
Okay.
Victim Offender Education Group. And that was very, very empowering. And I missed the part where they were going to line us up with victims' families that were, similar to like my own crime, so we can make those bridges, cross those bridges together.
Right.
It would have been a very emotional setting,
Yes,
but
it would. Yeah,
I never got a chance to do that. But however, in the near future, I'm going to be going into Chowchilla Prison to be a guest speaker for that group.
Right. Are you still on parole?
Yes, I am.
Well, how long did they give you on parole?
3 to 5 years. I got out July 12th, 2013.
Okay.
When I got to LA, they told me I would be on parole for 3 years. When I got transferred to San Francisco, it says 3 to 5. However, being in San Francisco is the best place to be on parole. If they don't take me off in 3 years, guess what? I'm not going to be mad because I'm not waking up in Chowchilla.
There you go. You're on this side of the wall.
Right.
I always, every morning I wake up, I say it's another blessed day above ground, one more day to get it right, one day at a time.
Right.
And I literally mean that, because we on this side, we make decisions or make choices for ourselves, choices that won't be changed unless we change them. So the ball is in our court now.
Yes.
So we can kind of like do what we want to do.
Yes.
How we want to do it. After coming home from prison, what did you do? What kind of program did you do after coming home from prison?
Like I said earlier before the show, I paroled to LA. I had to give an alternate address. I'm from Sacramento County, but I had to give an alternate address, and the only alternate address that I had that was address that was going to be a safe environment for me was my cousin's house in LA.
Okay.
So I paroled there. I stayed there for 4 days. When I reported to the parole agent on Monday, I asked them about coming to San Francisco to FOTEP. Because I volunteered to go to FOTEP, I didn't have to stay.
You said FOTEP. What
The Female Offender Treatment Program.
Okay.
And I went to FOTEP on Treasure Island, and I stayed there for 90 days. And then I moved out to what they call the SRO, the single room occupant, which is basically like a motel. And you have your own room, your own key. You come and go as you choose. You don't have to check in and out with anybody. And I was very blessed to get into the program, CJCJ. No, well, it's like under Nova. But the sheriff department from San Francisco paid my rent for that room for like 9 months.
Oh, really? Okay.
And usually they only do that for 90 days, but mine was extended to like 9 months because I was working and saving my money.
Okay. So you more or less, you have a support system coming to San Francisco.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Great opportunities here.
Okay. Right. Okay.
Good parole officers.
Good parole officers. Right. So right now, what are you doing now?
Right now, I'm on workers' comp because I was injured on my job about a year ago. I've had surgery on my shoulder, and it's not working out right. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to go back to work. They may have to put me on permanent disability, which I'm fighting that because I don't want to sit around.
Right.
I didn't fight to get out here to just sit around
There you go.
and get no free money. I want to work for mine because I have goals and plans that I have in motion. I want to buy a house one day.
There you go. That's right.
And
That's
I
what
can't
it's
do
about.
that being on disability.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Well, anybody that's going into prison with life sentence, I believe, this is my belief, that we go into a system of madness, and once we have the wakening call and wake up, right, we want to do something with our lives. And I'm a firm believer that God didn't put us on this earth to go in prison and spend the rest of our life in prison. I'm a firm believer of that.
That's what I said on a day-to-day basis. I know you didn't bring me here to die in here.
Exactly. And see, God don't make mistakes.
No.
Don't make mistakes. Everything that He does for a reason. So we were taken from this madness in this world and put inside of a cesspool, so to speak.
Yeah.
To wake up, just realize that we have something to do with our life.
I see myself as going in as a caterpillar and being in that cocoon for all of them years to come out to be a beautiful butterfly.
There you go.
That's what He made me, a beautiful butterfly.
And you're going to be successful.
Oh, yes.
You're going to be successful. We got reason to be here.
Right.
I did a number of years in prison. I just recently come home from prison. And every dream that I had in prison, I'm making it a reality. I'm making it come true.
Right.
Because I can do that. It's my choice.
I learned early on about saying, I can't do this. I can't do this. Yes, I can. If I tell myself, yes, I can do this.
Right.
Then I could keep moving forward. But
forward.
if I don't believe in myself, then my sister won't believe in me either. My mother won't believe in me. Nobody will believe in me. So the belief starts with me that I know that I can continue moving forward.
Exactly. That's what it's about. It's about
And
you.
when you get out as a lifer, you can't expect nobody to roll out no red carpet for you and all that. They ain't doing it. It's not going to happen.
No.
But if you got family, you got some kind of support, you will be okay. But don't think everything is going to happen overnight because it's not.
You have to take your time to process. I'm saying that we did the time in prison. If we can do that, we can do this out here. This is a cakewalk.
Right.
It really is.
Struggles went on in there when we
Yes.
couldn't get our money in time to buy canteen and you needed soap or whatever. The struggles were in there. When you get out, the struggles continue. And I think that's something I never thought about when I was in there. Said, no, it's not going to be no struggle out there. I face struggles all the time.
All the time, yeah. Well, like I said, this is beautiful. We have a program for us ex-lifers.
Yes.
That's done our time. We come back to society. We want the world to know that we're not that monster that they think we are.
Right.
We have reason to be part of this world. We committed a crime. Whatever crime we committed a crime.
Right.
And we're remorseful for that. We're gonna have to pay a due for the rest of our life.
Right.
But what we want society to know that we need a shot. We need a chance to prove ourselves
Yes.
as law-abiding citizens, taxpayers. And that's what we want to do. I want to pay bills. I want to buy things. I want to have fun. I want to travel. I want to show the world that, I have a right to be here.
And can be responsible.
Exactly, be responsible. So that's what it's about. It's about being out here in this world and being a part of it. And we want to thank you for coming on today. We really do. We appreciate you. And we want the world to know that you are somebody. You're somebody's child,
Thank you.
and you was put there for a reason.
I thank you for having me here
And
today.
thank you. And we're gonna have you back.
All right.
Okay. All right. We thank you for your time. We thank you for coming today, and we wanna let the world know that we here and we're here to stay. We're not going
Ain't
nowhere.
no going back.
We're not going nowhere. We're gonna make a difference, and whatever we do from now on, it's gonna make a showing, in somebody's life for the better, not for the worse. God created us as equal, men and women, and we have something to prove to society, to the world that we are part of this world, part of this society. So we want to thank you for viewing our show tonight. Every Saturday night at 7 o'clock we'll be on, and we have lifers coming on telling the stories, how it happened, why it happened, and what we're doing in our life now, and what our goals are for the future. So tune in next Saturday at 7 o'clock. Channel 29 will be here, if you be here. Thank you and have a good day.